Bill Hickok. I was a famous lawman. I was born on May 27th, 1837, in Hummer, Illinois. When I was young, my dad got sick, and me and my brothers did most of the farm work. I was very good at shooting as a kid, and the government would pay me 50 cents for every wolf that I shot. I would also hunt for my family. Later, I took a job digging a canal. This older kid, Charles Horace, was going to play a joke on me. His joke was to push me into the canal. I resisted, and we both fell in. They got me out first, and they got him out. He wasn't breathing. I thought I killed him, so I ran away. Later, I found out he was still alive. That spring, I moved to Kansas and took a job tending cattle. Jim Lane was starting a free state army, and I wanted to join because I hated slavery. At first, they didn't let me because they said I was too young. But later, all of the recruits were having a shooting contest, and they were doing real bad, so I stepped in and shot the bullseye. Then they let me join. Later, I went on a wagon train on the Santa Fe Trail, and on the trail, a bear attacked me. It tore my scalp and crushed my left arm. The doctor said I was a goner, but I held on. Later, this kid, Dave McCannels, was bullying me. Eventually, he even barged into my house. I asked him to leave, but he refused. I then stepped behind a curtain. He was confused, and he took a step forward. Then I shot him. When I was put on trial, the judges agreed it was in self-defense. My parents were named Polly and William Hickok. My brothers were named Oliver, Horace, Lorenzo, and Lorenzo. The reason two were named Lorenzo is because the first one died soon after he was born. I had two little sisters named Celinda and Lydia. I married Agnes Lake Thatcher in 1876. When I was a kid, I didn't go to school, but my mom taught me to read and write. During the Civil War, I joined the Union Army. At first, I was only leading wagon trains, but then I became a spy in Missouri and Arkansas to find out what enemies were doing. In Confederate territory, I stole a horse and named her Black Nell. Later, I became a deputy U.S. Marshal. I recovered 200 stolen horses and mules. I also saved a stagecoach driver with frozen hands and led him to a doctor. I became sheriff of Ellis County. When I was sheriff, I wore clothes like this. Later, I became a showman and a Wild West show with Texas Jack Elmo Hundro and Buffalo Bill Cody. In 1868, I umpired a baseball game. Most games those days ended in riots, but I kept them from rioting. One time when I was chasing some mule thieves, they gave up without a fight as soon as they saw who I was. When I was Marshal of Abilene, Kansas, at one point I was Marshal of Abilene, Kansas, but I stepped down.
Just take it off.
Okay. One point I was Marshal of Abilene, Kansas, but I stepped down after I accidentally killed my own deputy. After I got married, I went to look for gold in Deadwood, a city in the Dakota territories. I would always walk in the middle of the streets to avoid getting ambushed and keep my back to a wall while playing poker. But one time I was late to poker, and I had a seat with my back to the door. I asked to trade seats 3 times, but he refused all of the times. Then, while I was playing poker, Jack McCall barged in the door shouting, "Take that," and he shot me in the back. I was holding these cards then, 2 aces and 2 eights. You might have heard of them as called Dead Man's Hand.